Hello and welcome to Up the Turnpike, your source for New York Islanders content, both here on YouTube and over on Patreon, where we have our podcast that we do twice a week. That's patreon.com/uptheturnpike. In this video, we're talking about the dramatic change in Ilya Sorokin's form this season. If you're somehow unaware of the change in Ilya Sorokin, let me just paint a picture here for you. The first 28 starts or games to his season, Ilya Sorokin averaged a flat 900 save percentage. And I don't know, I still have the number, 2.89 goals against average in his first 28 games. Not good numbers. They're close to dreadful, I was going to say. But over his last 11 games, he's gone 9-2-0 for a 934 save percentage with, drum roll please, 19 goals against, over 60 divided by 600 is a 1.9 goals against average. Now, if you're wondering about the math there, he allowed 19 goals. You multiply that by the number of minutes he should be playing, which is 60. Divide that total by the number of minutes he actually played, which was 602 seconds. I just didn't add the 2 because whatever. So that is 1.91. 934 and a 1.91 goals against average over his last 11 games, where the Islanders have obviously gone 9-2-0. It's a dramatic change in his form on the year. So what changed other than just his average numbers look glowing compared to not so much? It's going to be hard to nail down to one specific factor, and it's probably not just one specific thing. But I think one specific thing is carrying a lot more weight for Ilya Sorokin and explaining why his numbers are so much better than they were at the beginning of the year. So just, again, to continue painting that picture, at 5-on-5, there hasn't really been a change for Ilya Sorokin. Now, I've compiled the stats here from up until January 4th, 2024, and then from the 5th of January onwards. And you'll see that there isn't really a big change in any of the data. The goals against, the save percentage, the number of shots per 60 faced. This is at 5-on-5, of course. High danger shots faced. Expected goals against per 60. Goals saved above expected per 60. And the average shot distance. They don't really change much when you look at the number by numbers here. They just don't change a whole lot. The goals against average and the save percentage change, obviously in a really good way. But it's not like they were bad to begin with, right? In the beginning of the year, for the first 28 games, 2.14 and a 922 save percentage at 5-on-5. Those are good numbers. Those are Vezina caliber numbers. Maybe not Vezina winning numbers, but at least in the top 5, right? But as of late, 191 and a 931 is really, really good numbers. But again, they weren't bad to begin with. So while there's a good change here, you can't say like, he's just so much better. He was really good to begin with. So that's really not it. And again, nothing else changes in terms of shots allowed. Basically the same. High danger shots allowed. The same. Expected goals faced. The same. And a little change there in terms of goals saved above expected. But not a whole lot. We're talking about a 1.7 or 0.17 per game. Not really a big change. And the shot distance, kind of the same. So what gives? Where was the change? If it's not at 5-on-5, we were playing most of the game. I'm sure you at home are like, the penalty kill! And you're absolutely right. It is the penalty kill. Because why would it be anything else if it's not 5-on-5? It's certainly not going to be the power play. Although it has been awful, not because of Sorokin. The penalty kill has not been good. Looking at those same numbers. Goals against average on the penalty kill, 11.86, 0.77 save percentage. And then look at it now, 141, 966. Dramatic change in his form on the penalty kill. Okay, great. You probably assumed that just going into this. Why has that changed? It's hard to point it to a specific factor again. Because it could be a confluation of things. But the high danger shots faced actually goes up. The expected goals per 60 goes up. The goals saved above average, obviously so much better. at 0.8. So dramatic change there. He's stopping shots that he should be stopping, or that he wasn't stopping before, by a dramatic fashion. And the shot distance has gone down, meaning they're shooting from a lot closer, which should result in more expected goals, as we're seeing, but should result in more goals, which we're not seeing. To me, the big change here is the number of shots actually getting to Ilya Sorokin. They were allowing 51.61 shots on net per 60 on the penalty kill in the first portion of the year, the first 28 games of Sorokin's season. In the next 11 games, which obviously isn't a 1-for-1 sample, but it's 11 games compared to 28, is still a pretty decent sample. They've cut that down by 11, nearly 11 per 60. That's a big difference. They're just not getting those shots to Ilya Sorokin. They're stopping them. They're blocking them, or they're just missing the net, which I don't feel is the case, because again, they're shooting from a lot closer, right? So you're usually not missing the net when you're shooting from 6 feet closer. It's possible, of course, but it's a little less likely. So the big change to me for Ilya Sorokin, in terms of going from an goalie to a really, really good one, is his work on the penalty kill, and the Islanders' work specifically at reducing the number of shots he's facing. And I'm not even talking about shot attempts. I'm only talking about the shots that are actually hitting him. They're really doing a good job of limiting those, either blocking them or just getting in. I guess it's really just getting in the way, blocking them, or just not allowing them in the first place. Right, like we've talked about that, Matt and I, on the show, and I'm sure you've noticed at home that the Islanders are doing a really good job of stopping play on the penalty kill from getting into their own zone. Their play in the neutral zone or at their defensive blue line has been really, really good over those last 11 games. It's something has clicked where they're just breaking teams down before they even get into the zone, and before they can establish some sort of cycle where they're throwing pucks all over the place. And, as we saw in a second ago, getting them on Ilya Sorokin. So not only is the team just blocking the shots better when they're getting in the zone, but they're just not allowing them to get in said zone to begin with. And that has helped Ilya Sorokin, obviously, by a really big, it's had a really big impact on Sorokin. Again, gone from a 900 save percentage in the first portion of the year to 934. And it's not because of 5-on-5 play. It's really not. Again, he's been really, really good at 5-on-5 all season long. It has been the penalty kill where he has been dreadful. Dreadful. Now he's so much better, and those numbers up. It's clear that the work that the Islanders have done on the penalty kill have benefited not just the penalty kill results, but has benefited Ilya Sorokin's numbers. So it sucks that it took so friggin' long for Patrick Roy to fix the penalty kill, or even just address it, right? Because he didn't do anything, admittedly so. He said it himself in the preseason, in training camp, to address the penalty kill, leaving it until later in the year. Well, he's fixed it, and look what it's done. Not only are they piling up wins, but their Vezina caliber goalie is being reflected as one, because his numbers are finally looking like Vezina caliber goalie numbers. So thank you, Patrick Roy, for fixing the penalty kill and for effectively fixing Ilya Sorokin. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. If you have not subscribed yet, hit that button. It means a whole heck of a lot to us. And if you have already, thank you, thank you, thank you.